Today, YouTube, I'm here to discuss Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 10. Oh, there's a lot going on. Episode 4 just aired, so that's what I have to go off of. And without further ado, I will just hop right into it. I think I'm just going to start with the heavy hitter and get on Wendy because I am so stunned by what has happened here. Wendy got arrested for insurance fraud. Her and Eddie, both of them. We saw the mugshots. We saw everything. When I tell you, I saw that morning, it threw my whole day off. I was so stunned. I had to deep dive into it. I just couldn't believe it. I've been a Wendy fan. If you've seen my other times discussing RHOP, I've long been a Wendy supporter, and I have hated how the girls have been doing her wrong. But I have been re-looking through everything, and I've been looking at her sideways this entire season now. I've seen all the statements. I've seen everything. Wendy and Eddie did that stuff. Allegedly. Everything's alleged, but I believe they did everything. The evidence is not on their side at all. And I have so many thoughts about it. My first thought is the children. I hope the children are okay. No matter how I have ever felt about Wendy and Eddie and their relationship, I've always seen that they have a beautiful family and their children are adorable. And it makes me so frustrated that these two would go and do some foolishness like this when they've got their family right there at home. I think the main thing I felt very conflicted, but I think the main emotion I felt about all of this is mad. Because why? Why would they do this? First of all, they were dumb enough to get caught, and they did so many stupid things. Like returning the items. They didn't even go for like millions either. They went for 6 figures, not 7 figures. Like, no, this was low stuff. She would have gotten more from a year off of RHOP than she got for what they stole. And it was reported that they were in debt, so maybe that's why they did it, and maybe they like had to rush to pay something off. But they were reckless about it. These are supposed to be 2 very smart individuals, and I've always regarded Wendy's word highly. I've always taken her for somebody who crosses her T's and dots her I's. Yet they did something so stupid. They didn't even like stage a robbery, really. They might have moved some stuff in their bedroom, but everything else was untouched. Everything about it was so stupid. And I thought they were smarter than that. I thought Wendy was smarter than this. If you're gonna do these crimes, don't be so stupid. And like, obviously you were gonna get caught if this is how you're doing it. Like, baffled. Like, of course it's completely wrong to be doing it. And I am mad about that, but I'm also mad, like, how could you be so stupid when you brag about your 4 degrees and everything? How could you be so stupid? Ugh. Like, there's so much at risk, and I feel like she was really starting to get her footing on RHOP. I think she was starting to become a bit of a fan favorite. She really has understood the show. She's finally in with Giselle, which we can clearly see is all she's ever wanted in life. I really just can't believe it. I'm hoping it's all gonna be resolved and she's gonna be able to clear her name, but I just don't see it happening. How everything is stacked up, I think she totally did this. I think both her and Eddie are gonna go to jail, even if she like tries to throw him under the bus. The evidence is so damning. It's so bad for her. Oh my gosh, I just can't believe it. I have so many thoughts on this, but for the sake of time, I will just keep it moving forward, and I will talk about her on the actual show this season. And her main thing has been her feud with Kiarna, who I've always made very clear I'm a Kiarna fan. I still stand on that. So coming into the season, I was like, oh no, it's Wendy and Kiarna. I'm just gonna have to like play neutral and be like, okay, we're having Queen off. But then the season starts airing, and honestly, I'm looking at Wendy sideways. I will say with Wendy, even though I've liked her, I've always thought to myself, she wouldn't be somebody I'd want to be friends with. I feel like she doesn't open up to people or let people into her spiral. I think she can be a good friend on paper and make all the proper appearances of a friend, but I don't think she'd ever go deep with anybody. And I think that's why she's never been the most popular person on the show, because there's always been this wall up with her. So when I see Keiarna start to say, yeah, Wendy, you're a fake friend, I believed everything Keiarna said. And honestly, Wendy kind of proved her points with how she was behaving. And Wendy was so dismissive of every point Keiarna brought up. And maybe Keiarna's arguments weren't perfect, but I believe the intention from her was expressing to Wendy how, wow, you hurt my feelings. You've not been the best of friend to me. What did Wendy do when they were doing their one-on-one sit down? Wendy laughed in her face and was totally brushing her off and just being totally dismissive. I'm like, you're just proving her point here. You're not showing to be a caring, compassionate friend, hearing out your friend's issues. Even if you don't agree with them, you can be respectful about it. And Wendy was not being respectful about it at all. And she would get in her confessional and just talk down on Keiarna. Like, it was not a good look for her at all. And then they had this thing where they were both doing these separate events for the horse race. So Keiarna was doing like the pre-game at her house before the main event, which Wendy was hosting while there. And Wendy did show up to Keiarna's thing. She immediately starts trashing it, and she was definitely trying to like shut down, like, oh, this is just like a little thing before my real main event. And the shade, it's like fun shade for the show, but you're obviously getting a dig at Keiarna and acting like you're better than everybody. And tread lightly. You're having a RHOP to act better than everybody. And thank goodness Wendy looks so good and she is dressed so good. Because imagine if you are stealing money and you look a hot mess. At least Wendy looks good and she was the best dressed. Then we come to episode 4 and we find out that Wendy, after bragging about how the first lady invited her, the first lady didn't want to appear on camera and she just did a quick pop-in, said hi to Wendy and left. You were bragging about all of that. Honestly, Keiarna's event at her house looked better than what Wendy was doing. And Keiarna's condo is cute. Then we get the reintroduction of Jassy into the group, and Wendy, she like lucks into it and is able to get Keiarna versus Jassy started up. Oh, she's playing the game. She knows what she's doing now, Wendy does. Now, I've been watching everything Wendy said very carefully, and I've been realizing she does play into the victim role. She uses very pointed words to make things get across, where even if you're on her side, the words she uses are so extreme. She said that Angel attacked her at Keiarna's condo. That was not an attack. Using the attack word was very pointed by Wendy, and she was trying to play into being a victim when Wendy was there and they were on equal footing. And you see how when Jassy came in and she said Keiarna talked about Wendy, never saying anything, Wendy immediately started to flip the script and say, you see, no, Keiarna's been the bad friend. No, she hasn't. Jassy said a whole lot of nothing. And Wendy was taking it and spinning it to try to twist it back onto Keiarna. After we saw you for episode after episode being dismissive as hell, she tried to spin it back and say Keiarna's been the bad friend. No, I think Keiarna, she is a real one. I think she is a real friend. And I think she's very disappointed in Wendy because she found out that Wendy's just a show friend. So Wendy can say whatever she wants, but I see through it. She is fake as they come, and that's all coming to light. Even her money was fake. And we also see when they get on Angel about the Photoshop, we see Wendy, who in like season 6, they were all getting on her for changing her appearance. What does she do? She sits there and laughs as they're getting on Angel. She basically says, yeah, Giselle's getting on her, but at least it's not me. So you just wanted Giselle's approval this whole time. So pathetic. After even looking back at things through a new angle, Giselle was doing Wendy dirty for seasons there. So to see Wendy just sit there and let these things happen after what's happened to her in seasons past, You really stand for nothing. I think even if she didn't get arrested, I think I still would have switched up on her this season, honestly, because this behavior is absurd. I'm just so disappointed in Wendy. I really expected better from her, and I held her in such high regard. I just can't believe what's happened. And I hate that now that it's happened, I'm able to look back and put all these pieces together and everything fits and everything makes sense. Like, yeah, Wendy really has been this person this whole time who has such a big ego and deflects onto everybody else and pushes these things aside to make herself feel better. She's been putting on for the cameras, trying to keep up with the Joneses, wearing these outfits she can't afford, doing all of that. When what she really should have done, RHOP would have been able to pay off her debt. It would have been able to give her that money in a year. She just needed to go a year, no spend. She didn't even have to like acknowledge like, yeah, I'm having money problems. She could have just not been going out buying Birkins and everything designer. And she could have had this debt paid off with RHOP because she would have been on for years. But no, she got greedy. She wanted money. She wanted more money. She thought, how can I scam to get it? And now she's exploded her life and she's put her entire family in danger because she decided having this appearance of being that girl is more important. Even if Wendy had no money, she always would have been respected off her degrees and her political knowledge. But she's thrown that all down the drain just because she wanted to look good on camera and to impress Giselle of all people. Who is Giselle in this world? Really? I just am so stunned. I still cannot wrap my head around it. Why this happened. I just so disappointed, so mad, so everything. I don't even know what else to talk about. I just had to get on Wendy real bad because I've been so mad. I just can't believe it. We still have a whole cast of ladies to talk about, and I really am liking the cast this season. So for the sake of moving on, let me just take out the trash real quick and talk about Ashley. She is still here being the Giselle lapdog, being messy, stirring up stuff, but having nothing of interest of her own. Congratulations, you finally got divorced. But did she? That's the question. I don't really believe much of what Ashley ever has to say, honestly. So I take it all with a grain of salt. But she said she got divorced and she threw her corny party at the start of the season. You know what, let's just talk over the Wendy of it all. So after everything happened with Wendy, Ashley, she had some singing show, which like, don't sing, nobody wants to hear that. And she's getting at Wendy like, oh, this isn't a surprise to anybody. We're making melodies, not felonies. If you're making melodies, you're missing them. I don't think you are making the melodies, even if you're trying to, for starters. But also, why are you kicking her while you're down? You're supposed to be like friends and a sisterhood on the show. But no, here Ashley is totally trashing her. And like, it's fine for people who don't know her to say that, but Ashley knows her. Ashley knows her kids. She should have been respectful and kept the kids in mind. Even if she wanted to get at Wendy, she still could have been like, her family is a beautiful family. Her children are beautiful. But screw Wendy. I saw this coming. But no, she was just throwing salt on the wound, knowing that Wendy has kids. That's what I don't like about it. Ashley was totally out of line there. And I hope the girls get on her for that, because it was so reckless. While I'm talking about stale and tired people, I guess I can talk about Giselle, who is still here stirring the pot, doing all her same hijinks, trying to tear apart friendships. You see how she's trying to get in between Kiarna and Angel at every chance she gets, trying to make them fall apart, how she's twisting all of their words. Oh, and then throwing this filter stuff at Angel. Like, you should not be talking about anybody's appearances when you show up to every single event or anytime you're on camera, showing up looking like you closed your eyes and went into a thrift store blind and just picked out the biggest 3 items you saw. Anybody who dresses the way Giselle dresses should not be commenting on anybody's appearances. Did Angel use some Photoshop? Yes. It was probably on a cast reveal because she was paired with Tia. It's not that serious. Maybe the fan photoshopped it. Like, we're really bringing this to the table. You're trying to get at her appearances already. That just screams like deflection. It was so gross to me. Everything Giselle does is so gross. I think she's good for the show, but I'm never gonna like her. She's just a nasty person. I do appreciate how Giselle's like keeping Karen's spirit alive this season. Like starting the season with her writing the note to Karen and then like them going out to eat with Cookie. That was all like fun. But Giselle personally, she's just infuriating. And then what she did to Stacy, not monogramming her stuff when she did everybody else's, she even got Jassie's done in time. It's just so tacky. She's just so weird. She's a weirdo. That's Giselle. I guess I want to talk about Stacy next, and she was definitely the breakout star last season. I did start to look at her sideways last season when she started to team with Mia, and then she sat on that reunion couch and she started lying. The TJ mess of it all, everything. I think everything that comes out of Stacy's mouth is a lie. But I think she's great TV. She's so funny. She's so entertaining. She's so aware of the cameras, but she's such a natural on camera that I appreciate it. And I'm not taking her side in most of her arguments because I'm like, yeah, you're dead wrong. You're a liar. You're fake and you deserve everything they're throwing at you. But I love watching her and like she's doing good in the fights. Like I think her versus Kiarna is such a fun feud because Kiarna comes at her with a lot of truths and I'm on Kiarna's side in a lot of that because I'm like, yeah, Stacy is all of this stuff you're saying. But Stacy will just like get a good jab at her, and when Kiarna like came and waved in her face, Stacy's just like, oh, hi. So shady. And then like in their fight, how she brought up the chin check of it all. She's good. She's good at her arguments, even though she's dead wrong, always a liar, such a fraud. Coming into this season, when Stacy was like announcing her cannabis line, I was thinking, Wendy better get on her and give her everything she deserves. But here Wendy is playing nice and buddying up to Stacy. Fake loves fake. I don't even need to speak on that because it speaks for itself. You know what? I just remembered something with Wendy. Let me circle back because I thought of the chin check. Wendy said in her confessional and said that she thought Kiarna chin checked Angel off camera. She was implying that Kiarna got physical with Angel. That is so damaging. And I wouldn't expect that from Wendy, who got attacked on camera from Mia, for her to imply something like that. I just thought it was so foul. But yes, back to Stacy. She's a real star, and I'm happy that everybody is getting on her, and I'm happy to see her handle herself. I don't think she's a victim here. I think the only one who's doing too much is Giselle, but she's always doing too much. But I think everybody else is giving her what she deserves for the most part. And I'm enjoying seeing her really handle herself. Next up is Kiarna. She is my favorite right now. She's been my favorite since she debuted. Well, Karen was always my favorite, but she was in jail this season. So Kiarna's been my favorite. She came in this season, and I think this is like her first like real proper season. Like she was a full-time flute holder last season, but I think it was a little like wishy-washy. I think she got it last second. This season, she's really in it from the start. And I think we're getting to see more of how she truly operates as a person. She's somebody who's no nonsense. She's gonna handle everything immediately, and I respect that. I think where she is going wrong a little bit, she's bringing up off-camera stuff. And while I do generally believe she's telling us the truth, it's hard when it's off camera because we haven't seen it for ourselves. And I think that's where she's having some difficulties, and she's not able to really provide the receipts that would vindicate her. But I think in general, she's a very truthful person. And I think she is here to make friends with the girls. And I think she is friends with pretty much all of the girls besides Wendy and Stacy. I think Kiarna is the most fun person in confessionals. She's had some really good one-liners. I think she's coming in hot, but I think that's just generally how she is as a person. And I think we're just seeing that more now that she's integrated in the group. But I think she brings a real authenticity to the show that I think has been lacking a little bit from seasons prior. I think she feels very real. And her relationship with Greg, I don't trust Greg. I think she could do better. Jassie's trying to pull at it and be like, oh, I'll just wish you the best. But, I mean, it's working for her. I don't know. I don't think she's happy in that relationship. And they're living apart, but like together and everything. She got a condo. It's pretty cute. And Jessie, I'm not giving Jessie a section of her own. She's trying to use Kiarna having her own condo that Greg didn't pay for as a dig when it's like, so Kiarna can afford her own condo. Okay, is that supposed to make her feel bad? Like, okay, she's got money. Her successful beauty business is working out for her. No, Kiarna got her back though, and she really got her good, honestly, when she was like, yeah, worry about what's going on in your own house with a man who's got 2 kids that aren't hers, and the whole Jassie of it all. Don't throw stones in glass houses, girl. Jassie came in way too hot. I did like Jassie last season, but I think they brought her in at a terrible time where there was already too much going on. Just bring her in after the trip. That's kind of how I'm feeling about Jassie right now. And I'm cold on her right now, I'll be honest. But yeah, I think Kiarna has held her own in the fights. I think it's clear on this trip. She's getting a little tired of the nonsense. Like, give her a minute. I don't know. Seems like they just like hopped right off their flight and got to fighting immediately. And honestly, I can see in some of the girls, I'm like, they look like they need a nap after all their traveling. Particularly Kiarna and Angel. They just look done. But yeah, I think Kiarna, she's been really fun to watch in the confessional. She's been giving me the drama. She's giving us the storyline. Like, I'm waiting to see what's going to happen with her and Greg, because it's not going to end well. And she's bringing on a real friendship. Like, she's got Angel, and they've been friends for 20 years. You can tell that there's some history between them and a lot of love between them. I like how she's very much integrated in the group. I think she's a great addition to the show. And, you know, my favorite thing about Kiarna is the fashions. She has really been delivering all of her confessional looks this season. Each one that I've seen, it's just like better than the next. I think my favorite has to be the like purple one that's giving me very Daphne Blake, and she's got the headband. Oh, every time I see her, I'm just like, this girl is gorgeous. Oh. But yeah, she's really giving me everything I want in a housewife, and I'm loving it, and I can't wait for next season. I want to see her dynamic with Karen expanded on, because we see that she really loves Karen. Like, you can tell they're like girls. I think that just leaves me with the 2 newbies, and I'll first talk about Angel. I think she's having a rough start. She came in with Kiarna, who is fighting with everybody, so I think Angel's getting roped into a lot of that. I think she's been entertaining on the show, but I have been looking at her sideways a little bit. The first thing that really raised a red flag for me with her was when Kiarna was giving her the rundown about how Wendy told Kiarna that, like, oh, did you do your makeup? And that's like so shady. But Angel was like taking Wendy's side and like, oh, but did you talk to Wendy about her kids? Like, no! Do you not see how Wendy just did Kiarna wrong? And you're Kiarna's friend at this point, so you should be like, yeah, Kiarna, she did you wrong, instead of trying to make excuses for somebody you don't even know. I noticed that, and I'm looking at it sideways, but letting that go. I am liking her on the show. I do think she's backing down of situations a bit. Like, I think the chin check thing, it got too expanded on. It just seemed like Kiarna we have seen in the show, sometimes she's not the best with her words. Like, she was asking Tia what tongue-in-cheek means. Like, I think she just, like, said chin check. I don't think Kiarna was gonna go beat up Angel, and I don't like that implication. I don't like that we really ran with that, and I don't like how Giselle took that and twisted it. I think it was just a misspoken thing with Kiarna. That's what it read to me in the moment. I can't believe it became this whole thing. I think Angel was hurt, yeah, but they talked through it and they got over it. Like, it's not that serious, and Angel realized that, yeah. Kiarna didn't chin check her, so there we have it. She was just talking trash, and that's all it was. And now we're on this trip, and they're like really going all at it. Like, oh, you want it, Angel? You're gonna get it. And they're getting at her with the Photoshop and everything. And the picture did look a little photoshopped, I can't lie. It could be an old picture. I'm willing to bet you, I think the blogs probably put like a filter over it when they paired her and Tia together. I think Angel's a very gorgeous woman. Maybe motherhood has changed her appearance a little bit, but I don't think it's appropriate to like really get on her for that, and I do feel bad for her for that. And I think she does want to get in the group, but they're at a time in the group where everybody's going against Kiarna, and bringing in Jassy didn't help it at all. Give Angel a chance, she'll get in the group. I'm always going to be watching her carefully though, because I saw the red flags with her early on. But I'm willing to see where it goes, and I'm liking what she's bringing. I think she's bringing some wealth and some class, and she's wag. Like, she's bringing us lifestyle. I'm curious to see what happens with her. And last but not least is Tia. She's our Brit. She's giving us wealth too. She's got children. She's got twins, just like Giselle. She came in through Giselle. And I don't think she was able to like get in the mix as much as Angel, which, like, good for you, girl. Because Angel's really going through it. But I think Tia has had like her fun moments with the accent and everything. I did see Stacy question on Watch What Happens Live if the accent is real or not. Drama. Tia, I think she really earned her stripes when Ashley was coming at her, and she really shut it down with class in this last episode. I think Tia is gonna be one to watch. I think we're all gonna end up really liking Tia, and I think she's gonna be here on the show to stay. Is everything right in her life? I'm not sure yet. I'm sure there could be some stuff messed up. I'm sure she could be lying about some stuff. I'm sure she could be putting up a front. But I don't know. I don't know much about her. I'm very curious to know more about her, and I like her style. She shut it down with class. She gave us a classy argument, and that's what I want to see. With all this talk of chin checking and Jassy just coming in and disturbing everybody and cutting people off, Tia, she handled things with class. I just love anybody who gets a good one in on Ashley, let's be real. But yeah, of the two newbies, I like them both. I hope they both stick around, but I think Tia, she's gonna be a real star in the making. That's all I've got to say on Real Housewives of Potomac for now. Well, it's not all I have to say, but it's all I'm gonna say right now, because I could really, really, really just go in on Wendy, but I won't. I'm sure there will be more to say as the season goes on and as the situation with Wendy unfolds. So I will be back to talk about it all in good time. So stay tuned until next time. Bye!